Hello and welcome back to Josh Oddie YouTube. Today we're going to be discussing a massive part of the golf game, and that is the mental approach to golf. A lot of people don't really like to discuss this and especially identify it in their own game. I think it's very easy to blame equipment, golf swing, conditions, a lot of other things, and we don't really assess how we are mentally. And I got a really nice comment yesterday from Frog2210. He said, Josh, can you do a video on the mental side of the game, such as pre-shot routine, and especially how to deal with shots that are uncomfortable and can cause anxiety, such as say like a drive with OB left when you have fear of the hook. So yeah, very good point from Frog, and definitely something that we can talk about and maybe discuss a few things that can help you all with your own mental battle out on the golf course. Okay, so first off, I think I just want to talk a little bit about the driving range. Now, this is a place where I think people can get a misconception of how they're hitting the golf ball. And I would go to driving range and work on a move, specifically improving my golf swing, right? So when I'm going to the range, I'm actively focusing on improving my golf swing. That's the sole purpose of a driving range. Now, the ball flight on a driving range, I personally think is pretty irrelevant, okay? You can get a ball flight and get signs of what you're doing, but ultimately you're just working on your move. And what I mean by that is that when you step on that first tee, how many times have you gone to the driving range and blasted 10 drivers dead straight on a string? You get on the first hole and you spray one out of bounds. Because like what Frog said, it's different when you have that anxiety and that feeling on the first peg. When you're on the driving range, you've got 100 yards wide. That's why I think it's a real big misconception, especially when you go in a golf lesson and you're in a driving range. Work on the move, work on the golf swing. Don't look at where the ball's going, because you know where it's going to be going. It's probably going to be pretty good. You know, there's no fear factor on a driving range. It's amazing what happens when you get that on the first tee. So how do we overcome that, and what do we do to stop ourselves getting anxious on that first tee? Okay, so I think Frog was halfway there when he actually said about the pre-shot routine. So that is probably one thing that is gonna... I can't even tell you how important pre-shot routine is. It is so important. If you're not doing the same thing every single shot, it just does not help, right? You're going on to every shot different to how you were on the last one. And then from that, you're gonna get different timings, different, you know, when you're looking up to the hole, you go maybe look 5, 6, I don't know. It just throws everything out. So pre-shot routine is just one of the most important factors to how you're going to improve your mental side. If you make every shot the same, so this is where the driving range can help, right? So go to the driving range and work on pre-shot routine, okay? We're not worried about where the ball goes, but we're going to repeat the exact same process every single shot. So I'm going to tell you from where I start mine. So generally, I used to have him, I don't really do the practice swings anymore, but what I used to do was I used to go 2 swings to, this is called position 2 here, right? So I'd used to swing to P2 and then through, past the ball, looking at my club face, making sure I've got that club face awareness. So I used to do 2 times that, just to bring it back to impact, and then 1 full swing, okay? I then used to take a couple of steps behind the ball, and I used to stand behind, focus, and actually visualize what shot I'm now going to hit. So I'd visualize maybe the high draw. I'd even pick out, like on the clouds, like the 3rd cloud down, I'd be drawing it off that, you know, really visualizing what I want to hit. And then I'd walk into the ball. I normally set it in with so I set my right foot first, and then I put my left in, and then I step with my right. So now I'm into the shot, and this bit here was probably where my pre-shot would break down. So Sometimes if I wasn't comfortable, right, I'd be waggling, looking, waggling, looking. That's when I should have just stepped off, because I'm not comfortable over that shot. I haven't got an idea of what I want to do, or something's not right. Okay, so now what I tend to do is go in, set that right foot, left foot in, right foot back. I'd have one little look, one little waggle, and then go. So then I would repeat that process every single time I'm over the ball. And then it's amazing how good you get at that. So, you know, I'd be back on the driving range. I'd go through 1, 2, back to set up. One swing, go behind the ball, visualize the shot, step in, club in, right foot there, left foot in, right foot in, one waggle, one look, go. So then we're building a routine into our golf game there, and that, you know, you do that every single time. Mentally, every shot's the exact same, because guess what? I'm just going through my pre-shot routine, and that's where the process comes into it. You stick to your process, you stick to your routine. Nothing really matters out there. You just go out and do the best that you can. Golf's a funny game. If you're 1 centimetre out of your club face, ball's probably 25 yards right. So even more with a driver. You know, we're literally playing a game of perfections, and that's where the pre-shot routine, something that you can control, doing the same every single time, really, really helps your overall end goal of getting the best score you can possible. Okay, so now we're on the course, and what we're going to do now is actually put ourselves in a real life situation. Ultimately, I'd like to be out on a golf course. The weather in the UK is rather dicey, and it's a little bit easier to do in the Sims. So we have got out of bounds on the left. You can see that white line, and then you've also got a water hazard on the right. How do we make golf easy? We aim in spots. That is our largest area to hit it into. So if I bring this back at 201, okay, I've actually now got a shot that's probably at the tightest part of the fairway, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and hit a 5-iron here. Okay, beautiful shot. A little low on the distance, but we are down the middle of the fairway. Now, you might get more comfortability out of hitting a 5-iron. So the swing is probably a lot freer when you're hitting a shorter club. So just bear that in mind, that when you're over a shot, if you bring the club back, not only are you now hitting a shorter club, which is more likely to hit that dispersion, but you might just make a mentally freer golf swing having a shorter club, okay? You don't always have to hit driver. But now, second, we're going to look at now this area in between where the outer bounds goes left, okay? So at 257, round about this mark, kind of 245 area, we can see the outer bounds now curves to the left. So this might be our widest part to miss it in. I'm not talking fairway, I'm talking miss. So if I miss this right or left, how wide can I miss it? Which is always a misconception, because people are looking at that wide fairway. It doesn't matter about the fairway. You know, you're going to score out of the rough as well. So you're finding that widest area to hit the ball in. And now for me, this is probably going to be like a 3-wood. So we're now in that widest part. And let's see if we can make a free swing and hit it there. And there we go. Good swing, that. Really good swing. Beautiful, straight down the middle. And like I say, we're hitting it into that wide part. So mentally, I know that that's the biggest area on this fairway. You might just make a freer golf swing. Now we get to the big dog. Okay. First option, people sometimes get to the bag. It's a par 4, you know, might be a long one. They automatically reach for that driver. And that's not to say that driver's the wrong club, or you might be someone that hits it dead straight with the driver. So it's your most confident club, and you've got to use that to your advantage. You know, if that's the club that you feel comfortable with on some tees, mentally, you might be really comfortable with driver. Mentally, I might just not see it. You know, don't fight what's going on in your head. If you're stepping up on that first tee and you don't feel like hitting driver, don't hit it. Don't force yourself to step up on the tee and try and make a good swing, because mentally you know you're probably not going to. And, you know, I'd much rather have a shot a little further back that's in play than one that's out of bounds, you know, and I'm now 3 off the tee. So, yeah, we're going to talk one more thing over this driver and maybe go back on that pre-shot routine. You all should have a golf coach, or at least an understanding of what you're working on in your golf swing. So try and build that into your pre-shot routine. So if you watch some of the course vlogs, you'll be seeing recently that a lot of my pre-shot routines, I've got left hand on the club only, and then I'm working on feeling like my weight is over here, and then I step in and I'm feeling like the club goes out to the right. That's a pre-shot routine feel I have, so that when I go into the ball now with driver, and we've got one of the tightest fairways here on GS Pro, we work on that exact same feel, working like we're going onto this side and then out to the right. And a beautiful drive down the middle. Is it in the fairway? We might just catch a piece. Go on, stay in there. Right, a very good swing anyway. So, you know, we're building an understanding of what we want to do off the tee and building that club in that suits your mental approach on that tee. Might not be driver. Just find that widest part of the fairway so that you can just free up and let it go. And last but not least, of all of these things that we spoke about today, just go out there and play carefree. Don't worry about where that ball's going. Just step up there, commit 110%. If it goes out of bounds, it goes out of bounds. Put another one down, whack it straight down the middle. So golf's all about just trying to feel like you're carefree out there. That's when you play your best, is when you're out on the Friday night with your mates, not giving a crap, and you're just whacking it down every fairway like it's, you know, the easiest game in the world. You get to your monthly medal on the Sunday, you can't hit your hat because you're caring way too much. So go out there carefree and just have some fun. Go back to that pre-shot routine, find your process and find something that you can focus on away from the end result. That end result is not in your control. You know, that end result, like I say, you could be 1 centimetre out and it goes 30 yards right. So don't worry about that end result. Worry about the things that you can control. Do your pre-shot routine and just let it go out there. Have some fun. And I really hope that one helps you. If you do want a part 2 on the mental approach, drop a like on this video, comment down below, and we'll see you all for the next one.